Hey guys, what is up? It is your boy Hubert. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alright, I'm sorry, that was pretty cringy. Your typical YouTube intro. But alright, so today I'm gonna be talking to you guys via a podcast. And I'm sorry if I sound a little bit muffled. I am sick. I'm sorry if you hear me cough or sniff. My nose is running and alright, I'll be better, okay? Don't worry about it. Alright, so today's podcast, I'm going to be talking about music and how it affects college students. So my initial problem that I was thinking is music distracting college students as they study? I'm sure you guys walk around campus, and yeah, I do too, right? I walk around campus listening to music because, who doesn't, right? Music is good for the soul. It gets you down to earth, or maybe music gets you pumped up for a game or whatever. Okay, so we all have our reasons to listen to music, right? But I was wondering, does music distract college students as they study? Because I know I study while listening to music. I'm sure other people do it. And I want to see, does it affect me in a good way or a bad way? So I came to a proposed solution saying that listening to music while studying is beneficial for certain subjects or areas of study rather than other ones. So for me personally, I'll listen to music and study at the same time for, let's say, a math quiz or a science quiz. But for something English related, or I'll have to read or possibly write. Actually, no, writing's not much of an issue while listening to music, but reading is what gets me. Because I know I can't read and listen to music at the same time and remember all the info on the book. Because, that's just me, alright? Okay, so, yeah, back to the proposed solution. Listening to music works better in certain topics than others. Alright, so with this in mind, I did some research. I came across many articles and websites on Google, and I chose 4 that stood out to me. 3 of them were from Google. Alright, I'm sorry about that, but they just stood out to me because they were so true, right? Alright, so 2 out of the 4 sources, they talked in general of how music affects students and whether you should or shouldn't. And they both state that you should listen to music while working on, or actually I don't know, because they didn't really state well, they didn't at all state in which topics you should listen to music while studying. They mainly stated that you should stay away from music. You should stay away from listening to music while studying, basically in any English or language arts related subjects, because lyrical music can affect your memory or something, or you just won't grasp the content at all very well. And okay, so those 2 sources, they ultimately came down to the claim stating that it all comes down to you, the student, really, on whether they should listen to music or not while studying, because we are all different and we should know our weaknesses and strengths by now, in college, and what works best for us as we study, what works for what we should stay away from as we study. So, yeah, they stated that it all comes down to you, the student. And a 4th source that I looked at, actually no, a 3rd source that I looked at, they looked at different genres of music and how it affects a student, really. And it wasn't just music, it was also like sounds, because I know there are some people that play like nature sounds or just ambient background noise while they study, which is, I guess, it's odd, but I mean, hey, it works for them, right? So yeah, they were looking at the different types of genres of music / sounds and how they benefit students really. And they ultimately also came down to stating that it all boils down to the student on whether they should listen to music while studying or not. So really, 3 out of the 4 topics, or not topics, sources that I looked at, they claim that it all comes down to you, the student, and you should find out whether it is beneficial to you or not. And one source that stood out to me was the source. It was a scholarly article. I mean, obviously it's gonna stand out, right? But they looked at how music can relieve stress and therefore lead to better performance in any assignments, quizzes, tests, you name it, right? So they stated that that music can is somehow like it music changes your mood to like a good mood, right? Because I mean, you're not gonna listen to music that puts you, somewhere else, or like not. You're not gonna listen to music that you don't like, right? So they were stating that a college student's favorite music is that puts them in a good mood can ultimately relieve stress, and music in general, I'm sure, can relieve stress. But they're saying that as this relieves stress, it leads to a student being more focused and more productive with their time, and really to be less distracted, which is great, right? It's awesome, because it then leads to better performance, as I stated, in any assignments, tests, or quizzes. Alright, so yeah, those are my 4 sources. 3 out of 4 claim that it all comes down to you. It's your decision. You make it. Free will, right? And the 4th source states that it relieves stress and leads to better performance and focus while studying. Okay. So I did notice some gaps in these sources. One of them was that they only focused on college students, and it made me wonder, like, because college students are the only ones that listen to music while they study. I'm sure middle school students and high school students. I doubt elementary students do it, because, I mean, I didn't have a phone in elementary school, right? And so yeah, how am I gonna listen to music, right? But so yeah, they focused on college students mainly, and they really didn't focus on any other topics besides English or language arts. And I was looking for how does it affect them as they work on math material, and if it affects their productivity or efficiency, really. Alright, so with those gaps in mind, I came up with a research question saying, how does music impact a college student's efficiency? Right, so ultimately I'm looking, does it improve their speed and overall performance in the assignment or task given to them? I'm sorry about that. Alright, so yeah, how does music impact a college student's efficiency? So with this in mind, I came to develop an experiment. So basically, I started off by coming up with 10 college algebra questions that vary in level of difficulty from 1 to 3. And okay, so after I came up with those questions, I chose 2 random students that I just saw walking in campus. Asked them if they wanted to be a part of my experiment. They said yes. So I was like, alright, awesome. And alright, so once I had that all under control, I began the experiment. So for the first portion of the exam, the questions I gave them, I assigned them 5 questions to do while not listening to music, and they were college algebra questions, right? So yeah, so I assigned them to do those first 5 questions without music. And my first, I don't want to say test subject, but experimentee, I don't know, is that a word? Okay, well, the first guy, AJ, he scored 100% on the first portion of the exam, and finished with in a time of 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And so, that's pretty good. He did pretty good. Christina, on the other hand, my other test subject, I guess. I feel bad for saying that, but okay. She finished within 3 minutes and 53 seconds. And she got 4 out of the 5 correct, leaving her at an 80 for the overall grade for that test. And then after that, I gave them the second portion, but before I did that, I gave them a little time to set up and get their music going, and I gave them like a minute or two to really get into the mood of their music, and maybe if I notice anything physical. And I did notice. So yeah, right away after those 2 minutes, I gave them the second portion of the exam, and that consisted of the same level of questions and same number of questions as well. Another 5 questions ranging in difficulty from level 1 to 3. And I like off the bat, I noticed that Christina was like not shaking her leg as much. When you're taking a test and you're like, oh shoot, what is this answer? And your leg is moving up and down. So yeah, off the bat, she wasn't doing that anymore. And AJ, on the other hand, he wasn't tapping his pens on the desk anymore. So I guess music, I guess it made them less anxious or nervous. One of those two. And AJ, he finished that second portion of the exam while listening to music in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And he did score 100. And Christina, on the other hand, finished in 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Yeah, 3 minutes and 4 seconds, and got 100 as well. So overall, they both performed better. Christina performed better on the second portion of the exam, which consisted of them listening to music, and they both took about 40 seconds less, and really they overall did improve. Okay, so yeah, so this gave me my results. I looked over them and I noticed that music really is beneficial to us, and it does improve our efficiency, because not only did they finish the second portion of the exam faster, 40 seconds to be exact, 40 seconds faster, but they also improved in their grades. Specifically for Christina, because she went from an 80 to 100, and AJ, well, he got 100 in both. So yeah, there's that. So really what I'm asking you guys to do is just like figure out what works best for you. What topics of studies do you perform best while listening to music, and what subjects you don't perform as well, or you aren't efficient in while listening to music. Just figure out, I perform, or actually just figure out, I'm pretty efficient with music while working on science or math or whatever. Whatever it is, just figure it out. What topics or subjects of study work best for you and make you more efficient while listening to music. Alright? And with that said, Hubert out.